Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kaustubha. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Mexico. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Mexico. And Kaustubha's in Colombia, and Mara's in Kinderhook, New York, with a whisk in her hand. We're instead of saying make that a t-shirt, we're going to say make that an apron. If you don't know, Mara is a famous chef in upstate New York. Famous chef. And for a part-time job, she's actually full-time devotional spiritual being. Part-time, which takes up all of her time. She's a famous upstate chef. So, Mara, thank you for producing this show. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
Anything we need to say about Mara?
anything we need to say? She went to private school. What else do we need to say about her? Oh, I know what. It was Mara's birthday the other day, but because she doesn't like to talk about herself, we missed it. And I had to find out later.
Yeah.
Mara, happy birthday. We love you. Hit up that chat board right now, Zoomers. If you want to join us live on Zoom, you can.
Mara.
It's fun. Generally, we look at everybody on Zoom. We look in your eyes. We look at your apartment. We look at the things you collect in your apartment. So if you want to join that thing where I peer in on your personal life, you can. Go to wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com and write to Mara. Tell her happy birthday while you write her and say, hey, give me this link to Zoom, Mara. I want to join the little party. It's free. And then we welcome you to our secret club.
We'd be pretty helpless around here without Mara.
We'd be pretty helpless, like flapping around like a fish out of water.
Oh, thank you both. Glad to be a part of the show.
Mara. Thank you for everything.
Every day she's here. She used to come to Super Soul Farm every day. Every day she used to come, bring me a pot, like a big thermos of hot mushroom herbal coffee like drink. She used to right? Remember that before the pandemic? She was always your coffee, Prabhu. By the way, people have been writing in. People have been writing in. They say, why do you call everybody Prabhu? Prabhu. What does that mean? Prabhu. Why are you calling everybody Prabhu all the time? Is everybody's name Prabhu? And the answer is Prabhu is just it's a respectful way to address somebody. It actually means master. So if I'm calling Cindy Lunsford, hey, master. Prabhu, or Lady Di, hey, Prabhu, that means in my mind, I'm training my mind to see other people as someone I can serve. And it's such a nicer way. These words have potency. It's so much better than calling somebody yo, which is sort of like a pejorative and talking down to them. Like, hey, yo, get over here, yo. Hey, yo, give me some of that coffee in there, quick. Prabhu, right? It changes the mind.
Thank you for the mushroom drink.
Thank you, Prabhu, Master. Master Mushroom. It's one of these things.
Thank you for serving me, Master.
Our language starts to change our mind. And then she addresses me as Prabhu. And it goes back like that. And it's a training of our external body, right? Our external thoughts, our external words, our external to start thinking like the internal. because the internal naturally wants to give love and serve. Our internal naturally wants to do that. But I need to be recalibrated because the material world is telling me, no, you're the master. You're the coolest. You're the center of the universe. And I'm not. That's Maya. That's illusion. So we're in the process of a recalibration of this screwed up machine, screwed up from lifetimes of nonsense. Thank you, Srimad Bhagavatam, for attempting to screw my head on straight. Good morning.
Thank you, Mara, because Mara's not like that. She's kind of like, except when she's in the kitchen, she kind of takes control.
Oh, she takes complete control in that kitchen.
Yeah, but it's as a servant, though. But she bosses everybody around. But as a servant.
It's scary to get into that kitchen. She's dead
in
serious.
Service.
You come in, you offer obeisances to her altar. She's got this massive altar of Sita and Ram. Offer flat obeisances in the kitchen. Doesn't matter what's on the floor. Right on that rubber mat.
And if anybody starts talking any nonsense in there,
she's like, keep conversation high. No low vibes in the kitchen, please. It affects the food that the people are eating. Isn't that great?
She'll step in and shut them down.
Shut them down.
Yeah,
she's the master.
That's good.
There you go.
That's right.
Okay. I got a very sweet letter from her father. Due to marriage, here's an interesting thing about you getting serious about your spiritual life. Papa Tony. You getting serious about your spiritual life, it creates a ripple effect. And there are ripple effects of love. And there's ripple effects of hate too, isn't it? When you start getting hate. I got so many sweet emails yesterday and comments like, man, because I was a victim of cancel culture. I don't say it like that though, because after my spiritual study, I realized everything's my karma. Everything's my karma. But when you get get that, it's like those cancel culture threads. It's like a ripple effect of hate, and you go to them, and people are just going. I went to that horrible thread, and I felt like I wanted to vomit. That's what
you
gossip
went there.
does. I didn't go there. I don't go there. I don't let it. Don't go there. But it's one of those things. People say, well, I want to know. And you know what happens? You feel like crap. When you hear, yeah. You don't put that stuff in your ears. It's like strictly poison stuff. But my point is, Mara's deep devotion gives the opposite, a ripple effect of love. And because of that, her father was inspired in Bhakti. Her father's a great soul. Papa Tony's a great soul. Her sister, Ellie, listens to the show. She's got some potency, this woman.
Boom.
Ripple effect of love.
And
hashtag
in the kitchen.
that one. That's an apron. Make that into an apron. A ripple effect of love. And
hashtag ripple effect of love.
And anyway, I've been meditating on that verse that we always, because if you say I'm a victim of this, bad way to think about it. Bad way to think about it in Bhakti. My dear Lord, here's the verse from the Bhagavatam. We chant a lot, Tate nukampam susamikya samano bunjana evatma kritam vipekam kredvag vapurbir vidadan namaste javeta yomukti pade so doyabak. Where'd it go? Here
Doing
it is.
a little Bengali style there. Doyabak.
Doyabak. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of their past misdeeds, and offering you respectful obeisances within his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become their rightful claim. So this is what we got to do. We're not that we're like, why is this happening to me? Why am I frustrated today? Why is it like stepping on a hot stove? Why? Why is there like a sinkhole in every step I take? No. Suffering reactions from some misdeed. It's karma. It's aparabdha, unmanifest karma that's now becoming parabdha karma, manifesting karma, going through your stuff. You can read it in your astrological chart. Something's going to happen. You're going to get your heart broken. You're going to find some loss. You're going to find, things are going to go bad for you financially. It's all written in your karma. And as a materialist, even if I was to read my Jyotish, my astrology, it'd be like, I've got a bad period I'm going through. No, that's not how we see it in Bhakti Yoga. We see it as suffering some reaction, but still trying to be connected. And we think, you know what? I deserve much worse. Who knows what I did in my last life? And immediately try to get rid of the blame. Once I can get rid of blame and criticism, it's like the threshold to liberation. If I gotta end blame if we want to go anywhere, or else we're going to hit a really low ceiling in our spiritual life. What do you think about that, Kaustubha?
I appreciate it. You know, yesterday you gave 4 different pieces of advice for going through a sawed-off shotgun of hate.
Did you like that phrase, a sawed-off shotgun?
And
You know what a sawed-off shotgun is?
I know what a sawed-off shotgun is. Even though I'm not from out in the country where you guys are walking around with your guns nonstop, I know what a sawed-off shotgun is.
Need them upstate.
Yeah,
you never know who's going to come to your property.
That's right. Someone may step on your property.
Of bullets. So that way, it's sort of like everybody gets some. It's a good way.
It sprays it even more because you sawed it off. Because you sawed it off, it sprays it more, right?
Yeah, it's like a
so one of them. So one of them is like what you're talking about right now, which is karma to burn.
Karma to burn.
And but I noticed that on the YouTube, where we're posted on YouTube, someone commented. It was actually Katamrita Devi Dasi, and she wrote a comment, and it Katamrita, yeah, she wrote, "Zoom the hell out." That was one of the 4, right? Zoom out. Yeah. But I think you said zoom the hell out. I think that is the ultimate mug, bumper sticker, even tattoo. Zoom the hell out.
Even an apron, Mara.
You gotta
zoom the hell out. Don't just look at your food in front of your face. Zoom out.
Our workers are really going to be confused when she's walking around with an apron that says "zoom the hell out."
But you know what? The Bhagavatam teaches us to zoom the hell out.
That's right. I think that should become one of our major hashtags right there. Just zoom the hell out. You need that Bhagavatam perspective.
This life is over in a moment. All my suffering, all my pain, all my shortcomings, all my lack. It's over in a moment, people. It's going to be over in a moment. Right now, what can I do to give some love, to connect with people, to be very, very present with special people in my life? I've been living in my mind forever. I'm worrying about what's not even ever spend like a year worrying about something that never happened? What a lousy investment. I'm worried about it every day. It's going to be like this, and probably going to be like this, and probably going to be like that. And it just never happened. And I gave that time. I sacrificed that time for that which never manifest. Oh my God.
Zoom the hell out is like just across the board. Like you take your 6 pillars of bhakti that you kind of concocted.
That's the 7th pillar. That's the 7th pillar. Zoom the hell out. That's the follow-up book I'm writing.
Well, zoom the hell out. It relates to all of them. Zooming the hell out gives you the power to forgive. Zoom the hell out gives you, what are they? Zooming out. Because otherwise we make mountains out of molehills. We get petty. And it's only when we zoom the hell out, which is what the Bhagavatam gives us that perspective, do we have the ability to say, this is not so important.
Sure.
I have something that's far more important that I have to be focused on. Right.
Sure. And also when you zoom the hell out, it's hard to be hateful because you understand that everybody's got a backstory. Everybody's got a backstory. We see some guy who's a criminal. You zoom the hell out and you see this criminal oftentimes went through hell. He had a hellish childhood.
Good point.
Had a hellish.
That helps you love even those that are acting as your enemy. You can love them when you zoom the hell out.
When you zoom the hell out. You know what? It's all about zooming the hell out.
We should get a t-shirt. Wisdom of the Sages, zoom the hell out.
Zoom the hell out.
And the sage should be like saying that to everybody.
Yeah, and you know how you zoom that on one of those touch screens? You go like that with your fingers. You put them all together and spread them wide. And maybe that's the mudra for zoom the hell out.
Oh, I like that. You say right in someone's face. You got to be careful not to get like an attitude where you're like,
zoom the hell out.
Zoom the hell out.
No, you got to talk to yourself.
Maybe we shouldn't say,
point at your face. Prabhu. Don't point at someone else. That means that's sort of putting them down.
Oh, that's a good mudra. Zoom the hell out. I like that. Yeah, I think maybe Paramananda could work on that shirt. Zoom the hell out.
Get him on that. Multi-talented Paramananda.
By the way, you got to get on. Our people are writing all the time saying, "I'm trying to order shirts and they're having trouble." You got to talk to.
This whole Nashville crew.
Maybe
is
we need
like
someone
trying
else
to
and not
order
you to
shirts.
do it.
Thousands of shirts. Okay.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
on
telling
it.
you.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Wait a second. We got to also mention that we're doing the show.
Announcements.
Please, just do this quick. Let's do it.
Okay, I'll do it quick.
Yeah.
So, no show tomorrow. Raghunath's traveling tomorrow, so there'll be no show on Saturday. We will be back on Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, which is our normal time. And we'll have questions and answers on that day, Q&A. And then we'll be back on Monday at this time, this week's time, 7 a.m. from Monday through Friday, we'll be doing next week. So 8 a.m. on Sunday, no show tomorrow, 8 a.m. on Sunday, back to 7 a.m. Eastern Time next Monday for the following week.
The Nashville Mexicans
yeah.
are all sad. We'll do something private.
Okay.
And they're like, we don't care. Okay.
All right. You ready?
Got it. Ready? Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the Supreme... Wait a second. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being. Supermost human being. The Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. And to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badrishu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances at their lotus feet. You know, Kaustubha, we have a special guest.
Yeah.
Next Sunday. This guy is one of my. I'm a fanboy for this person. I'm like a total fan. He doesn't even know it, and he's just like a very, very like. How do I say it? He's a lot younger than me too.
Undented.
Very cultured and sophisticated young man, and he's like
he's a Bhagavatam man.
He's a Bhagavatam man. He's from India, lives in America. He's like, I think he's a professional. He's one of those guys who's not only materially qualified, he's one of those very undented can. And he knows the Bhagavatam so well. It's unbelievable. And the first question I'm going to ask is, tell me about Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being. And why are we calling him a human being if he's two people? Why isn't he a human beings? That's what I'm going to ask.
We've tried that.
But never got a satisfying answer. We get some Wikipedia answer of who is Narayan. They'll say it's Krishna and Arjuna.
I think in the end that we found some verse that said he's inconceivable, and so we kind of like left it there. It's like,
I know. Now I want to know.
That some details couldn't be filled in. Yeah, right. I want to know what's inconceivable.
I want to know how inconceivable. I want to know. But he's philosophical.
He's deep. So that's Amarendra Das.
Amarendra Das. He's funny. He's deep. Tune in next week. That's August 15th. Jump on that show. Yeah. I'm going to be down at.
Could I mention one more announcement?
Sure.
Oh, you'd be Jersey. So also a week ago today was our 500th episode, and I announced there that we were in the works of creating reading groups that people can join that would be great sanghas, and that would also be connected to another level of counseling and care and so on, and this whole care community. There'll be more to hear about that later. I just want to share, many people wrote in ready to join a reading group. We received your letters. We appreciate your letters, and we will be reaching out to you soon. But I want to say that we are in talks with different people, qualified people, and there's some progress being made. So things are happening in the background, and we're trying to move towards getting that all set up as quickly as possible. So it's happening.
Nice, Prabhu. Nice. You're beautiful.
All right.
Yeah, ready? We're in a new chapter, brother.
In the near future.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3.
All right.
Chapter 18.
Chapter 18.
The battle between Lord Boar and the demon Hiranyaksha. You ready for this?
There's 3 chapters on this battle.
Yeah,
this is the we started yesterday. Now we've got a chapter that's just all on this battle.
We're gonna burn through this. Okay.
This is the Lord's play. He's accomplishing many things through this.
So
But it's
Maitreya is
also his
explaining
Leela.
this to Vidura.
That's right.
The proud and falsely glorious Daitya. Daitya means like from a species, a race of bad guys. Daityas.
The sons of Diti.
The sons of Diti, yeah. The proud and falsely glorious Daitya paid little heed to the words of Varuna. What was happening was he challenged Varuna. And Varuna is pretty powerful. He's the lord of the
Who's
ocean.
Varuna?
The lord of the ocean, of the aquatics. And so, and Varuna says, oh, you want to fight me? Well, look, I'm a little old. But if you want to fight somebody, why don't you fight Lord Vishnu? He'll humble you. You think you're so cool? Fight Lord Vishnu. So the proud and falsely glorious Daitya paid little attention to the words of Varuna. Oh, dear Vidura. He learned from Narada the whereabouts of the personality of Godhead and hurriedly betook himself to the depths of the ocean. He saw there the all-powerful personality of Godhead in his boar incarnation, bearing the earth upwards on the ends of his tusk and robbing him of the splendor with reddish eyes. The demon laughed, oh, an amphibious beast. He spoke like that. By the way, so there was there's an ocean, and I get, you got to picture this, because if you think he's going to the ocean, how do you lift the earth? Because the ocean is on the earth. I think the ocean's outside the earth, right? And therefore,
That's the universal ocean.
The universal ocean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The demon addressed the Lord. Oh, best of the demigods, dressed in the form of a boar, just hear me. The earth is entrusted to us, the inhabitants of the lower region, and you cannot take it from my presence and not be hurt by me. You rascal, you have been nourished by our
people.
Yeah, you rascal, you have been nourished by our enemies to kill us, and you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. Oh, fool, your power is only mystic. So today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you. The demon continued. When you fall dead with your skull smashed by my mace, hurled by my arms, the demigods and sages who offer you oblations and sacrifice in devotional service will also automatically cease to exist, like trees without roots. Although the Lord was pained.
Actually, there's a ho.
Who?
Prabhupada writes in the commentary to this, just worth mentioning. He says the example of an uprooted tree mentioned here by the demon is very significant.
Yeah.
Devotees accept that God is the root of everything. Their example is that just as the stomach is the source of energy for all the limbs of the body, God is the original source of all energy manifested in the material and spiritual worlds. Therefore, as supplying food to the stomach is the process to satisfy all the limbs of the body, Krishna consciousness, or developing love of Krishna, is the sublime method for satisfying the source of all happiness. The demon wants to uproot this source, because if the root, God, were to be checked, the activities of the Lord and the devotees would automatically stop. The demon would be very much satisfied by such a situation in society.
If you're new to the show, you should understand, we say Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna? I was thinking about this today. I'm always trying to think about, what if people just tune in today? It's just a way to say God. Same way you say God when you're a little kid. It's just a different name of the same thing. Krishna means the one who is the most beautiful. Sometimes a Christian will stop me on the street and I'll say, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in Jesus? I'll say, yeah, I believe in Jesus. And then I'll say, Jesus is the son of Krishna. And they're like, what? I said, yeah. He says in the Bible, I'm seated at the right hand of the Father. Krishna is the Jagatpate, the father of the universe. They said, no. Krishna is some devil. No. There's one God. You can give him whatever name you want. God just means the one who's good. God just means the one who is good. That's what the word means. So God is good and God is beautiful. I always say, hey, look, do you believe God is the most beautiful being in the world? And they'll have to say yes. That's a trick question. I'm setting them up. And I'll say, well, you believe in Krishna?
Mm-hmm. And then they accept that and they surrender to you?
And they accept that and they follow me and they pick up little cymbals and a tambourine, and me and Sherry Sobensinski lead them around the city chanting the holy name. Okay. Shall I continue?
Okay. Please do.
Okay, you rascal. So the demon's speaking still. You have been nourished by our enemies to kill us, and you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. Oh, fool. Oh, I just read this. Your power is only mystic, so today I shall enliven my kinsman by killing you. When you fall dead with your skull smashed by my mace, hurled by my arms, the demigods and sages, who offer oblations and sacrifice in devotional service will automatically cease to exist, like trees without roots. I already read that. Although the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, he bore the pain. No pun intended. But seeing that the earth on the ends of his tusk was frightened. Oh, isn't that interesting? The earth is a being. Seeing that the earth at the ends of his tusk was frightened, he rose out of the water just as an elephant emerges with its female companion when assailed by an alligator. I love these.
Whoa, imagine what that looks like too. It's like, it's ready to fight now.
Yeah. The demon, right? And why was the Lord fighting here? Because the devotee, who is the earth, the Devi, the goddess of the earth, she was hurt. So the Lord gets very angry.
Okay.
He's like, it hurt me a little,
Nice.
but when the goddess of the earth was upset, then I got a little angry. The demon who had golden hair on his head, and he was a blonde. The demon who had golden hair, shapely legs. Now, the demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks. The demon had fearful tusks?
Yes. That he had tusks too.
What does he look
that's
like?
Part of the reason why he appeared as a boar.
Did he?
He was like a humanoid, but he had tusks. He was a humanoid.
Real word, Mara. Humanoid. The demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures."
This
The
is all part
Lord,
of the play.
yeah, the Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. So he gave this little benediction to the earth globe. The goddess.
He sustains everything, so.
You know, it's also beautiful. I love this philosophy that everything is a person. Everything has personhood. Everything is not a thing. Everything is
everything?
Everything is not a thing. Isn't that nice? Everything is not a thing. It's a
But aren't there
being.
some things? Everything is a person? This pen is a person? What are you talking about?
Well, no. Everything, all living beings are beings. Although I've heard mountains are sometimes beings also. But my idea is that instead of just...
I've heard that too.
No, what we do in culture is we say, well, we're beings. You know, real materialistic culture will say, we're beings, but those... And they'll think of a race they don't like. Sometimes it's a religion they don't like. The Protestants will hate the Catholics, or the Catholics hate the Protestants.
They have no soul.
Or they're soulless, or they're dark. And they sort of de-being them. They depersonalize them. And that's how wars begin. You know, and then they say, well, no, equality. We say you got to draw that circle really big, not just around your religion, not just around your race, not just around your gender, not just around your species. It's every living being is a being and has personhood, and they should be treated with dignity.
Including earth, rivers, mountains, planets.
Yeah.
The sun.
That's
moon.
the training. You got to make that circle real big. The demon who had... All right,
Make that circle big.
Make that circle big. Apron. The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water. Okay, so you let that little globe float now. While the enemy stood looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and the other demigods rained flowers on him. The demon, who had a wealth of ornaments, bangles, and beautiful golden armor on his body, chased the Lord from behind with a great mace. The Lord tolerated his piercing ill words, but in order to reply to him, he expressed his terrible anger. The personality of Godhead said, Indeed, we creatures
There
of the
goes.
jungle. Indeed, we are the creatures of the jungle, and we are searching after hunting dogs like you. One who is freed from the entanglement of death, has no fear from the loose talk in which you are indulging, for you are bound up by the laws of death. Right? Isn't that true? The
He doesn't want to hear
laws
that, but it's
of
true.
death. It's true.
Yeah.
The only way you're not bound up by the laws of death is if all the words out of your mouth are transcendental. Then you don't even die when the body dies. Right? When you shed the body, it's like, what? My body's going? I'm not the body.
Step on the
anyway.
head of death. Yeah.
Step on the head of
You
death.
don't have to take birth again and death again and birth. You break the cycle.
Break the cycle. You are supposed to be the commander of many foot
No.
soldiers.
Isn't it certainly? Certainly. Text 11.
Mine doesn't say certainly. Text 12? Oh, certainly
Text
we have
11.
stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasatala. So that's a lower planet, right? Certainly we have stolen the
Rasatala.
charge of the inhabitants of Rasatala and have lost all shame. Although bidden by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time because, having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go. You are supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers, and now you may take prompt steps to overthrow us. Give up all your foolish talk and wipe out the cares of your kith and kin by slaying us. One may be proud, yet he does not deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised word. This is Lord Vishnu talking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Maitreya said...
It's Lord Boar speaking.
Okay. Maitreya...
Sage level 3.
Now the narrator is speaking. The demon, being thus challenged by the personality of Godhead, became angry and agitated, and he trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. I almost stepped on a cobra once. Do you know that? It was right after the rainy season in
No idea.
Vrindavan. I was walking down the path alone, and the cobra came right up on me. And ever see those cartoons where the guy's running but not going anywhere? That was me. I was like, yeah! He didn't bite me, but he came up like that.
What happened?
I just ran.
And then? Oh,
I ran away. He didn't attack me. I mean, he couldn't catch me. He didn't come after me. He was. I guess
That was an Antashesh.
Oh, that was
He
the Lord.
came to yeah.
And
to you,
he
you
came
ran
to give me a
away.
blessing, and I was like, I don't want a blessing. Hissing indignantly, all his senses shaken by wrath, the demon quickly sprang up the Lord and dealt him a blow with his powerful mace. The Lord, however, by moving
He doesn't
slightly...
like to hear. He doesn't like to hear. The demon doesn't like to hear, oh, you're like bound by death. Nobody's above me. Nobody's bounding me. You know, it's like, that really angered him.
The Lord, however, by moving slightly aside, dodged the violent mace blow aimed at his breast by the enemy, just as an accomplished yogi would elude death. The personality of Godhead now exhibited his anger and rushed to meet the demon, who bit his lip in rage, took up his mace again, and began to repeatedly brandish it about. Imagine getting hit by a mace. Then, with his mace, the Lord struck the enemy right in his brow, on the right of his brow. But since the demon was expert in fighting, O gentle Vidura, he protected himself by a maneuver of his own mace. In this way, the demon Hiranyaksha, and the Lord, the personality of Godhead, struck each other with their huge maces, each enraged and seeking his own victory. There was keen rivalry.
Holding the mace.
Yeah, how does the boar even hold a mace? Do you think I had little hands instead of hooves?
It makes me wonder, is it possible that he was actually manifesting like a Vishnu form at this point? Like,
or is
I
this
don't
whole
wanna
thing just
speculate.
not real? We caught it here. How can a boar hold a mace?
No.
This is completely impossible. There's a hole in this
He's doing
philosophy.
it. One way or another, he's doing it.
Hey, 1 second. Why aren't we doing the show at 7? Why aren't we doing the show tomorrow? I can't remember.
Because you're traveling.
I know. I could
We're
do
doing
it.
it on Sunday.
Oh, because we needed to take a day off or something. I could do Sweet Baby Christian tomorrow because Cindy wants me to do a show because it's part of our little program here. Should we announce it later?
Okay, then do that.
Okay, I'll do Sweet Baby Krishna tomorrow.
Whatever.
At same time. Is that okay? Kaustubha?
At what time?
This same time.
At what time?
Whatever it is now.
We're going to do Sweet Baby Krishna in the morning.
In the morning.
Okay.
7 a.m. So that way, if people want to do that,
Fine
you
with
either
me.
have a day off or you do Sweet Baby Krishna with me and the Memphis Nashville Posse. Sounds good?
Don't you have to run off to the airport or something?
I'm going to run out right afterwards. I'm crazy like that.
Okay.
So is Sweet Baby
Fair enough.
Krishna only for Patreon members
cue
tomorrow
it.
morning, Raghu?
I don't know. I'll do it for everybody.
Okay.
Okay? It's a special.
Raghunath, you don't work good on the fly like this.
I work great on the fly. That's the only way I work.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just keep telling yourself that. All right.
There was keen rivalry between the two combatants. Both had sustained injuries on their bodies from the blows of each other's pointed maces, and each grew more and more enraged at the smell of blood on his person. In their eagerness to win, they performed maneuvers of various kinds, and their contest looked like an encounter between two forceful bulls for the sake of a cow. I've seen that. O descendant of Kuru, Brahma, the most independent demigod of the universe, accompanied by his followers, came to see the terrible fight. For the sake of the world, between the demon and the personality of Godhead who appeared in the form of a boar. You know, just like you go to one of these, you watch the UFC or some, I don't know if people watch UFC, but the UFC, some ultimate fighting challenge, and there's some guy like just speaking ill about the other guy, and the other guy's very humble. Like you want that humble guy to win. You want that good guy to win. And here, all the demigods are eager to watch this, witness this fight. They want to see Lord Vishnu. What's going to happen? They're all excited. They're on the edge of their seat. And in that excitement is a type of love they're manifesting. My hero. This is all bhakti actually happening in a celestial realm.
Well, you know, but what doesn't happen in the UFC is what's going to happen now is Lord Brahma is going to start to speak his prayers.
Well, did you ever see that UFC where a boar came in the ring? It was really crazy. Just kidding.
Didn't see that one.
Okay. Yeah,
Text 21.
but it's one of those things, and as we hear it, we start to fall deeper in love. We understand how wide of a conception there is of what I just know in my Judeo-Christian upbringing of God. God is omniscient, omnipotent, etc. But when you hear these things, it starts to broaden your understanding. And like as you were saying yesterday, this brings us to the 10th canto, where we have this original personality, this Svayam Bhagawan, this original form of divinity, who's the source of the white light, who's the source of all the avatars, etc. And it's this Sri Krishna. So we're all in preparation for this.
Source,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all building, right? Because even this battle, when Vishnu in the form of the boar kills Hiranyaksha, that's going to lead up to the brother of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and when he meets his death at the hands of Narasimhadev, right, the half man, half lion. Yeah. And that pastime is a very important, lengthy Leela, you know, full of incredible instructions coming up later in Bhagavatam. Fantastic
stories peppered with deep philosophical instructions.
Laden, you could say.
Laden. Yeah. After arriving at the place of combat, Brahma, the leader of thousands of sages and transcendentalists, saw the demon who had attained such unprecedented power that no one could fight with him. Brahma then addressed Narayan, who was assuming the form of a boar for the first time. So here comes Brahma.
This is great.
And he's going to start glorifying.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great part of the story, right? Like, you again, picture this. This is the Lord's play. And he's battling this demon for the sake of the earth and of the demigods. And now the leader of the demigods, right? It said he's the leader of the demigods, and what does it say? Thousands of sages or something like that?
Thousands of sages.
And now Brahma is going to step up and, yeah, he's going to start to speak to the Lord in the form of the boar, you know, through this beautiful Sanskrit poetry. It's great stuff. You know, he stands up and, you know, he's cheering on the fighter now. Take him out, take him down. You know, it's exciting.
Is that what he's going to say? Brahma? My dear Lord, please take him down. Take him down. No, just joking. My dear Lord, this demon has proved to be a constant pinprick of the demigods. I love that. He said a pinprick. The Brahmanas, He's a pinprick to the demigods, the brahmanas, right? The priestly class, the renunciate class, the cows, and the innocent persons who are spotless and always dependent upon worshiping your lotus feet. He has become a source of fear by unnecessarily harassing them. Since he has attained a boon from me, right? Because he got his power from a boon from Brahma. Since he has attained his power from a boon from me, he has become a demon, always searching for a proper combatant, wandering all over the universe for this infamous purpose, right?
Yeah. So Brahma's saying, everybody that you care about and you give special effort to protect, the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, all the innocent people, this guy's been harassing them all. Take him out.
Lord Brahma continued.
Don't mess with him.
My dear Lord, there is no need to play with a serpentine demon who is always very skilled in conjuring tricks and is arrogant, self-sufficient, and most wicked. Brahma continued, my dear Lord, you are infallible. Please kill this sinful demon before the demoniac hour arrives and he presents another formidable approach favorable to him. You can kill him by your internal potency without a doubt. So does that mean at the night time when demons have
The
more
mystic
power?
powers increase. Yeah.
Powers increase.
They
My
can
Lord.
send out all kind of mystic displays.
And here he says,
We're
my
getting
Lord,
an echo now,
the darkest evening, which covers the world, is fast approaching. Right? These are inauspicious times. Just like we're up early in the morning, sages wake up early to meditate. It's a great time to meditate. If you're trying to meditate at noon, good luck with that. You know, meditation's best before sunrise, right the hour before sunrise. That's why everybody here on our Mexican retreat likes to wake up early. I think I wake up early. There's always a gang of ladies out front doing deep meditation outside by the pool. And it's just a better time to do it. So there are auspicious and inauspicious times that at least that are more favorable for settling the mind and connecting. My dear Lord, you are infallible. Please kill this sinful demon before the demoniac hour arrives, and he presents another formidable approach favorable to him. You can kill him by your internal potency without doubt. My Lord, the darkest evening, which covers the world, is fast approaching. Since you are the soul of all souls, kindly kill him and win victory for the demigods. The auspicious period known as Abhijit, which is the most opportune for victory, commenced at midday and has all but passed. Therefore, in the interest of your friends, please dispose of this formidable foe quickly. This demon, luckily for us, has become of his own accord to you, his death ordained by you. Did I read that right? This demon, luckily for us,
has come of his own accord to you, his death ordained by you. Therefore,
exhibiting your ways, kill him in the duel and establish the worlds in peace. Thus ends the chapter.
Thus ends the 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Battle between Lord Boar and the demon Hiranyaksha. Shall we continue? The battle's still going on.
Well, we got 9 minutes here. It's not a lot of time. The next chapter,
Keep going.
chapter 19, the killing of the demon Hiranyaksha. We can start it. We can
Keep
start
going.
it. Okay.
Yeah. We could finish it.
In 9 minutes?
Yeah. Think you
38.
can't read 38 chapters and 38 verses?
Okay, ready?
Anyway. Yeah.
Sri Maitreya said, after hearing the words of Brahma, the creator, which were free from all sinful purposes and as sweet as nectar, I got a feeling I would like Brahma. The Lord heartily laughed and
Me
accepted
too.
his prayer
he's
with a
just great.
glance laden with love. There are a few demigods on my list that I want to meet. It sounds
Shiva's been
crazy, but I
protecting
think
you
like
all
that
along.
sometimes. The Lord who has appeared from the nostril of Brahma
Hello,
sprang.
Lord Ganesh. My name's Raghunath.
Honored to meet you.
Good to meet
I
you.
heard a
I've always
lot
wanted to
about
meet
you. I fell in love with you from an MC Yogi song. Okay. The Lord who appeared
here's a
from the
big
nostril of the Lord who had appeared from the nostril of Brahma sprang and aimed his mace at the chin of his enemy, the Hiranyaksha demon, who was stalking fearlessly before him. That's where you knock somebody out. You hit him in the chin. Just thought I'd add that. Struck by the demon's mace, however, the Lord's mace slipped from his hand and looked splendid as it fell down whirling. This was miraculous, for the mace was blazing wonderfully. Even though the demon had
This
excellent
was like the
opportunity,
slow motion scene in the film. You know, it's like, and then
the
mace is
hero
like-
drops his mace, his beautiful mace, and everyone's like, "What?" Even though the demon had
Oh,
an excellent
no, it's
opportunity
like
to
it-
strike his unarmed foe without obstruction, right? He respected the law of single combat, thereby kindling the fury of the Supreme Lord. Isn't that interesting? He could have struck out
chivalry.
Lord Vishnu, but he said, "You know what? It's not appropriate." There was like rules of warfare. Now we're just like Agent Oranging
That's right.
people. You know what I mean? It's horrible.
I think that was several decades ago, but yeah.
Oh, they're doing worse now.
Now it's like
Who knows what
drones and things like that.
Cyber attacks, drones. Yeah, you don't even have to fight anymore. You just
Okay.
press a button.
Let's-
Even though the demon had an excellent opportunity
That's five.
to strike. 5? Okay. Sorry. As the Lord's mace fell to the ground, and a cry of alarm arose from the witnessing crowd of gods and rishis. The personality of Godhead acknowledged the demon's love of righteousness and therefore invoked his Sudarshan discus. So the Sudarshan discus is one of the weapons of Vishnu. It's a blazing chakra, a fiery wheel. And this is what he uses to, he throws. It's like a boomerang of fire. I wonder what the origin of the word boomerang is, Mara. Check that out for me, please. Maybe, is it native? Anyway, whatever. As the Lord's mace fell, 6. As the discus began to revolve in the Lord's hand, and the Lord contended at close quarters with the chief of his Vaikuntha attendants, who had been born as Hiranyaksha, a vile son of Diti, there issued from every direction strange expressions uttered by those who are witnessing from airplanes, aka UFOs. They had no knowledge of the Lord's reality, and they cried, "May victory attend you! Pray, dispatch him! Play no more with this demon!" Right? They saw this blazing light coming from his. Everyone's like now in awe. Here it comes. This is it. This is the knockout blow. The demon who had fearful tusks stared at the personality of Godhead.
No,
as
you
though
skipped
to-
7.
7. The demon saw the personality of Godhead, who had eyes just like lotus petals, standing in position before him, armed with his Sudarshan discus. His senses were overpowered by indignation. He began to hiss like a serpent, and he bit his lip in great resentment. The demon who had fearful tusks.
Can you do that for us? Hiss.
You. I do it on a regular basis.
That's hissing.
Sometimes Cindy gets me angry. I'm like, "Yeah, Cindy. 26. And then after the class, I was like, "Thank you, Cindy. Hot 26.
26.
I hissed at her in class yesterday. She's like, "Higher on your tiptoes, Raghunath. Higher, Raghunath. Draw your tummy in, Raghunath." I was like, "It doesn't go in. It's stuck bulging out."
That's in.
That is in. Then I start to weep. She's like, "You're sweating too much, Raghunath." I was like, "I'm weeping." When the demon saw the personality of Godhead who had eyes just like lotus petals, I just read that. The demon who had fearful tusks stared at the personality of Godhead as though to burn him. Springing into the air, he aimed with his mace at the Lord, exclaiming at the same time, "You are slain, Vishnu!" I added that Vishnu. O saintly Vidura, while his enemy looked on, the Lord in his boar form, the enjoyer of all sacrificial offerings, playfully knocked down the mace with his left foot. Boars don't have feet. You mean his hoof foot?
His hoof.
His hoof foot. Even as it came upon him with the force of a tempest. What's a tempest?
Tempest.
A storm.
I think it's like a.
Oh,
is it a
all right.
I think.
Mara.
What do you think is storm?
Why don't you look it up, Mara? No more
I think you're
speculation
right.
back
I
there.
won't say what I was about to say because it'll be embarrassing.
A violent windy storm.
Violent windy storm.
Yeah.
Private school
There
pays
you
off, Mara. The Lord then said, "Take up your weapon and try again, eager as you are to conquer me." Challenged in these words, the demon aimed his mace at the Lord and once more loudly roared. When the Lord saw the mace flying towards him, he stood firmly where he was caught. When the Lord saw his mace flying towards him, he stood firmly where he was and caught it with the same ease as Garuda, the king of the birds, would seize a serpent. His valor thus frustrated, the great demon felt humiliated. Imagine whipping your mace at somebody and they just catch it, right? His valor frustrated, the demon felt humiliated and was put out of countenance. He was reluctant to take back the mace when it was offered by the personality of Godhead. Hey, you dropped something? Here, take this back.
He now
took a trident, another good weapon. Imagine getting hit by a trident. He now took a trident, which was as rapacious as a flaming fire, and hurled it against the Lord, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, even as one would use penance for a malevolent purpose against a holy Brahmana. Hurled by the mighty demon with all his strength, the flying trident shone brightly in the sky. The personality of Godhead, however, tore to pieces with his discus, Sudarshan, which had sharp edged rim, even as Indra cut off a wing of Garuda. I don't know that story. Indra cut off a wing of Garuda? Garuda has one wing?
Don't know about that either.
I don't know. Mara, maybe you can research.
Sure it grew back or something.
I'm sure it grew back. He's an expansion of Vishnu.
He can't be flying around.
He can't be flying around with one wing. He'd be flying in circles. The demon was enraged when his trident was cut to pieces by the discus of the personality of Godhead. He therefore advanced towards the Lord and, roaring aloud, struck his hard fist against the Lord's broad chest, which bore the mark of Srivatsa. That's the little mark on his chest. When he was went out of sight. Hit in this manner by the demon.
So what do you think happened? You think?
Huh? You tell me.
How do you think it affected him? Well, I'm asking. He hit him as hard as he could right in the chest. What happened? Let's hear.
Hit in this manner by the demon, O Vidura, the Lord who had appeared as the first boar did not feel at least quaking in any part of his body, any more than an elephant would if he was struck by a wreath of flowers. The demon, however, employed many conjuring tricks against the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of Yoga Maya. At the sight of this, the people were filled with alarm and thought that the dissolution of the universe was near. It's amazing, huh? This demon's doing all this mystical things, and all the demigods are like, what's going on? Fierce winds began to blow from all directions, spreading darkness occasioned by dust and hailstorms. Stones came in volleys from every corner, as if thrown by machine guns. A machine gun of hate. The luminaries in outer space disappeared.
So
sawed-off machine gun.
What happened? Just to say, what's happening here is that the Hiranyaksha came and he hit the Lord as hard as he could, and he didn't even feel it. Then he disappeared, and now he's using mystic weapons and mystic conjuring up, all kind of illusions, and he's got that Shakti, that ability to do that.
Prabhuji?
Yeah.
We have to bookmark it here. We have to stop. It's 7:01. We have to bookmark this story. I'm on the edge of my seat. Will the boar beat the demon? Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I'm on the edge of my seats. Almost done. Last day. Going snorkeling with my daughter today. Looking forward to it.
Good for you.
Hanging out with the hot yogis. Where's the music? I can't hear the music, Kaustubha. Are you musicking it?
Well, we're going to have some takeaways?
Yo, Mara, what's the takeaway, please? Give us some
Do you have
takeaways.
time for a few takeaways?
I'll make time for a takeaway. I need something to put in my pocket when I'm snorkeling.
All right.
And in case I get attacked by some barracuda, I need something to meditate on, Mara. What do you got for me?
This one's a good one, particularly if you're snorkeling. Create ripple effects of love.
There's ripple effects. Tell it to a barracuda, Prabhu. What else you got?
You have to get rid of blame and criticism to get anywhere.
To get anywhere?
To get anywhere.
Okay.
To get liberated, if you prefer. Zoom the hell out. It's over in a moment.
That's what you said.
Zoom the hell out. Let's all say that together.
There you go.
Zoom the hell out. Could you hear that?
Yes.
All right.
Worry is a lousy investment.
Worry's a lousy investment. I'll wear that apron.
Make that circle big for every living thing.
Yeah.
And you can love your enemies when you
Make
zoom
that
the hell
circle
out.
big.
What's that? You can love your enemies.
When you zoom the hell out.
That was very Christian. That's a Christian way to end the show. Love your enemies. Thanks everybody for joining us. Kaustubha. Segue. There it goes. There it goes. So listen, no show tomorrow, but Sweet Baby Krishna morning edition. It's our teaser for Patreon. This is a community-supported podcast. If you like what we're doing, you can join Patreon. Patreon.com/Wisdom of the Sages. Keep this boat floating. Thank you, everybody who already support us. Thanks for you Zoomers, and thanks for there's a bunch of regular others. And there's a bunch of regular others from Indiana. I've just found out about Crystalline, the Indiana Zoomer other. There's like a Louisville posse here, a Pittsburgh posse here, the crazy Nashville posse, Evansville, Louisville, Nashville. It's out of control. What's going on here? There's a Bhakti Christian explosion going on. And it's so fun.
What's going on in Scranton?
Scranton is crazy now. Scranton's going crazy in Bhakti. They're dancing in the streets. Look at Luke. He's got an owl. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Let's all dance. Everybody, what's going on here? You guys, start dancing here. You're on the dance cam. These guys think it's time off. Look at this guy. He's lost his material mind. Come on, Crystalline, do something. This is the Indiana posse. Where's Lady Di? Woo!